Okay, I'd like to welcome all of you to another one of our co-founder trainings. It is Thursday, the 24th of April, and I'm excited to be here with all of you. Thank you for your attendance, those of you that are here live with me today. Today, I want to talk to you. So we got some things we got to go over. Um, Let me see how I want to put this. I'm a driver, and I've got a car. You know, and the thing is, there's a lot of power there. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes, believe it or not, I want to run people over. I don't know if you've ever experienced that, but you
Man,
know,
I thought you had a golf cart, man.
but this ain't a video game. In real life, it's not a video game. In a video game, you can run people over. Maybe you lose a few points, but if you run somebody over in real life, there's a big problem with that, right? So, look, we can't be running people over. And even though we got the power to do that, right? Like if you're in your car, think about it. What's stopping you from running over a jaywalker? What's stopping you, right? If someone's on the street, that jaywalker is counting on and trusting in you that you're not going to run them over, right? But the fact is, they're right there in the middle of the road, and you could run over someone if that was what your intention. If you intend to run somebody over inside that powerful car, you can. Am I right?
Yes.
Right?
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
Just because
Yeah.
you got the power to do something doesn't mean you can just do whatever you want, though, right?
Yep.
Right.
Correct.
I mean, you guys
But
wouldn't you wouldn't want me running
yeah,
over anybody, would you? Nobody here
shoot,
would want me to do
hey,
that,
the president would cheer you on for doing that, man.
right? So look, yeah, the thing is that if I actually did run somebody over, like just because, and if I'm in a bad mood, I want to take it out on somebody else, or I'm gonna run somebody over. Hey, it doesn't matter what my excuses are. If I actually use the power of that car, run somebody over, there are some serious consequences attached to that whole situation, right? And I'm in the driver's seat. I got the power. But unless I show some restraint on myself, right, and be responsible, right? Let's use that word. How about everybody just say the word responsible?
Responsible.
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 I mean, we couldn't all
Re-
be all clustered together like we are in this world. Look at how close you are to other people, right? I mean, they're everywhere, right? we
Yep.
we couldn't all be like hanging around on all each other if there wasn't such a thing as being responsible. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
I mean, if you just throw responsibility out the window, what do you got left over? Right? You know what I'm saying? What kind of world would that be?
A
I
free
don't
for all.
I wouldn't want to live in that world, would you? Where no one's
Nope.
responsible, right? Everybody just does whatever the hell they want when they want, right? And no one can stop them, right? No one can do anything about it. No consequences, right? Look, I'm bringing up some obvious things, but these things we take for granted. Until I mentioned all this just now, how many of you have been taking all of that for granted?
Not me.
Not
Not,
me.
not you. Okay. Believe it or not, I think most of us take it for granted. We don't even think about it. It doesn't even cross our mind that how we should just be grateful that we live in a world with let's just say the majority at least are responsible, right?
Yeah, you
Responsible
gotta
enough,
watch out for the gotta watch out for the consequence.
yeah. But hey, there's a reason why we got jails and things like that because sometimes people, they uh they do things that are deserving of them being in jail, right? I'm not saying that everybody in jail is deserving of it, but I'll just say that, there's a reason for a jail. And we've all agreed that's part of the social agreement. So inside of pool funding, we also have agreements. Okay.
Yes.
we have terms and conditions, and we're going to be updating those because I want to bring in an additional point inside the terms and conditions that talks about selling our coin. Okay. That, you need to be sensitive to when you sell coin. Okay. Now, just like, most of the people are not in jail and only a few of us are walking around in normal society. It's kind of the opposite of that. Most of the normal people are, most of us are outside of jail, right?
Yes.
But let's face it, guys. This month, the month of April, the entire month of April was a no sell month, right? And not only did this injure the person doing the selling to themselves, so it's a self-imposed injury upon themselves because they've injured, the huge potential of what they could collect if they were just, going along with what we're agreeing to do. We all made an agreement. You guys remember clicking that little box before you made a payment? Remember that one day you had to click a little box saying, "I agree to this," that there's going to be a penalty. Does everybody remember that?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
hey, we got to take those kind of things seriously. Would you guys agree? We got to take it seriously,
I agree,
Yeah.
boss.
Yes.
I do.
because we have agreements for a reason. Okay, so to me, the first injury that's taking place here in the case of those that elected to do otherwise, they elected to sell in spite of the fact that they also had to click that box. Okay. They injured themselves first and foremost. They cut their own throats in a way because they short-sightedly, took what they could get now instead of what could come later. And even if in their heart they just didn't believe in us, that doesn't change the fact that, hey, they made their sell, and the next day we're still here. So they're already been proven wrong by one day. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes.
what goes on up here doesn't matter. I can have all kind of crazy thoughts, but those crazy thoughts don't give me the right to run somebody over on the road. Am I right?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay. And this is where being responsible, let's say that word again, responsible.
Oh,
Response.
God. Responsible.
The way I really like to say that word is responsible.
Some.
Yeah, that's the way I like to say that word, but that's a whole different, that's another topic. I don't want to get off topic because we can just use the regular version of the word responsible for exactly, we all know what it means. Okay. And we can acknowledge the fact that clearly the good news here, guys, is we're not dealing with the many here. We're not dealing with like an onslaught. If we look at the charts, you can take a look and see for yourself with your own eyeballs. We're not dealing with that many people that are actually violating this agreement. Okay, it's it's 1 to 2 dozen people. Let's just say like that. 1 to 2 dozen people has up to this point. We got 5 more days left of the month. 1 to 2 dozen people have violated our disagreement. And the first party to be injured is themselves. Every seller that sold, they themselves were the one being hurt in the first place. Do you understand what I mean by that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Because no matter what
Yeah, I understand.
no matter what crazy ideas go on in their head or whatever doubts and fears that they're facing in their hall of mirrors, okay, that don't matter. The fact is, the fact that we're here the next day and then the next day and then the next day, just every day is another proof that they were wrong, they were wrong, they were wrong, and wrong again. You see my point?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Now, the second party would be the collection of all of us, because collectively we all have an objective here of reaching price targets. Okay. So we've all kind of agreed that, yeah, we've accepted the price targets as presented. Maybe some of you understand why, maybe some of you don't. But the fact is, you understand there are price targets. Am I right? Those are published and they are public. Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's not, we're not talking about insider trading here. It's out in the public what we're doing. That's not insider trading. We're telling the whole world, we're going here, right? And we're determined to do that, right? Because we're a membership. We're a group of people who've come together. With, here's the thing. I see the world differently than my current wife because I'm American. She's Filipino. My wife values $3,000 a hell of a lot more than I value it. Okay? But we're giving people that kind of power, right? If we're sending them back $100 every day, maybe we're collecting 11 every day, and in return we're giving 100. And I think, I've already pointed out and I've shown you evidence. This is what the majority of all of you are doing. And that's fine. But you have to recognize its power, just like a car is a very powerful thing, right? It is power. And 90 days later, it does show up in the wallet. That's all evident and true, right? So that's what's going on. Am I right? That's
Yes.
power. That's
Yes.
power.
Correct.
Right? But the thing is that just for the same reasons we have, ways to operate in the roadsides, okay, and how we operate in our vehicles and all that. This is, we are also, we have to have that same kind of mindset with the power that we're getting here, because pool funding on purpose is an acceleration to wealth. Okay, it is not here's a whole bunch of hard work you got to do and a whole bunch of skill you got to develop. It circumvents all of that. AI is forcing us, we're being cornered. Society is being cornered. We're no longer got enough time to figure out how to upgrade our skills. At some point, if we don't come up with a solid alternative to UBI, then we're going to get UBI. Otherwise, we're going to get Armageddon. It's going to be one or the other, okay? And maybe UBI ends up leading up to Armageddon anyway. But anyway. We need something that's going to help people get through what's, we're like threading a needle right now. That thread is tiny, that little eye of the needle so small. Remember the last time you guys ever did that? It's been a while since I threaded a needle. But we're working in a window here. It's literally 5 years, 2025 to 2020 to 2030. This is our window. Getting to our price targets matters. The consequences are serious. The lives impacted are real. And that's how serious we have to be about, repeat that word I want you to say again. Repeat it.
Responsibility.
That's right. We got to be responsible. Okay? All of us. Not just most of us. All of us. Okay? If someone demonstrates that they can't be responsible and we can't trust them with $3,000 a month in coin, and like collectively we say, no, not now. Even though you may have reasons to use it, no, not now. You don't use it right now. It's not available. Even though you got the power, it's in your hand. No, not now. Because we don't have the luxury of just waiting and waiting and wait. Tell me different. This is your chance, guys, because co-founders prove me wrong. Okay? Do we have the luxury of just whenever we get there, do we have the luxury or not? You tell me. I don't think we do. Anybody want to challenge that? No? Silence is consent? Okay.
No, I don't think we do.
No. So, damn it, take this stuff serious, right? We're not talking to, whatever, 2,800 people. We got about like 2,800 active members in here right now, and like the majority of them are getting $100 a day. Maybe it might be 11 bucks out of their pocket every day in order to enjoy that. But in a lot of cases, they have one person below them. So, because it's break even, it's not coming out of their pocket, right? So that's like getting $3,000 that they didn't actually pay for because of a system that accelerates you financially. Powerful system. Through a giveaway. We got to take that serious because we have to get to these price targets. Now, for those of you that don't know why that's so important, there's videos on my channel. There's there's 3,000. I'm not 3,000. There's 300, soon to be 3,000. 300 videos on my channel, my YouTube channel. But let me tell you something, guys. Let's go take a look at how we're putting this information out there. Okay, because some people think, we're not doing a very good job of getting the message out to everyone. Okay. I beg to differ. I just think that we need to add a little extra responsibility to the sponsor. Something that should have been like it was unspoken, but now we'll need to speak it out. What's going on here? I don't want to do that. Hang on a second. It's making me do it. I just want to turn off the camera before I do it. Okay. All right, I'll come back now. Share my screen again. Here we go. Okay. So every single active member has access to this page here. Am I right? 100% of them.
Yes.
What does it say?
Yes.
What does it say at the top
Yes.
here? Right? Penalty notice. Watch now. Right? So there you go. It's all there. Are times, right? So there's that. How can you miss that? And then there was a little box that popped up. You only popped up one time, but you had to click through it and say, hey, I agree to this, right? You remember that, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Well, this idea of pleading ignorance, that ain't going to fly. Am I right? Okay. And then let's go down here a little bit. All right, we got this video. That's an important video right there, right? And we got this video, another good one, another good one. And then boom. What do you think that video is about, guys?
Not selling.
Don't sell, right? Up here, don't sell. Right there, don't sell. Right there, another explanation under the word of collaboration, don't sell. Okay. All right. Then we have our 777 giveaway and the training on the 777 giveaway. And then right here, another video, don't sell. Another video, hey, the first injured party is you, don't sell. And then right here, most recently added is distributed PF coins are a sacred trust. Don't sell. How can anyone plead ignorance with all that as evidence? No one can get away with that claim. Can we agree on that?
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Agreed.
Now, most people who are in pool funding, they don't have 20 or 30 people direct to them. In fact, I don't even know one person at this point that's got 20 people direct to them. Okay, in pool funding. The average person's got two. The average person in pool funding's got two people that they personally signed up. Is that a whole lot of people to deal with?
No.
So let's extend the responsibility. If you are a sponsor, you have an important job, and that is say the videos on the account page are must-see TV. Okay? Say that with me. Must-see TV.
Must see
Must see
TV.
TV.
Must-see TV. Let's get that message out there real good. Okay? Make sure all 2,800 active members we got, they all know that those aren't, they're responsible for anything that's contained there. Okay? Not only that, but there are other videos on the YouTube channel. So every one of those videos that are on that page, they're all attached to the same YouTube channel with 300 videos. Now, I'm not asking someone to watch 300 videos, am I? I'd love it if they did, right? So they did get it, like they would be like that. They could be like a historian on pool funding, okay? But there's a selection of videos there on the website, and they're there for a reason. Okay. And that's how we're communicating right now, because maybe some of you agree with my wife. $3,000 a month is a lot of money and power. But if you were to go to sell $3,000 worth of coin right now today, you'd be lucky to get $300 because of the way it's working right now. Because what you call liquidity. It ain't because there's a shortage of USDT liquidity. For the most part, there's pretty solid USDT liquidity, there. It's the pool funding coin side of the liquidity. That's why you see that. But that's all because we want to be a feather, right? We want to blow the price up. So we're not looking for price stability. What comes first, price stability or hitting price targets? Which one comes first?
Hitting price target.
Yeah, we want it to be feather light, but it works both ways. You can blow it down too. Okay. The first injured party, someone selling prematurely, is they themselves. They're hurting themselves. They're not getting their full value. Right? They should have got 3,000, but they only ended up with 300 or whatever it is, right? Because it's like a feather, it goes up and down and doesn't take much. So, we are responsible for that. We want to make sure that as sponsors, we get the message out to the people that we have sponsored and make sure that they understand. Likewise, that the message must be passed on that, hey, we make agreements here, and they are serious agreements. Okay? They're not to be taken lightly. Okay? And anybody who sells in the month of May will have to talk to me. You'll be able to. We won't have the penalty anymore, but it won't be the right time to sell. Okay? So even though there won't be a 30-day penalty, I'll be wondering why you're selling before we hit our price targets. Now, I hope we hit our price targets before the end of the month. We only got 5 days left. We could make it happen. Maybe, maybe not, right? But I'm not counting on it. But until we hit our price targets, guys, no one should be selling. No one. In the month of April, the month of May, whatever, until we get to that price targets. Now, the next step is price stability. Let me tell you something. It's impossible to achieve price stability without sellers. Like if all we had was buyer, 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 and there were no sellers, it's impossible to achieve price stability that way. You have to have sellers. That's good news, right? I'm not asking people to wait for the next lifetime to get to die and come back. I'm not saying you have to wait forever here to be in a position where, if you really have a, desire for some reason to sell, I'm not saying that you can't, but everything has to be done within reason with responsibility, right? And we can't be playing games I'm sorry, making Karen yawn there.
I'm sorry, it's not you.
Thank you. All right. I thought I was being very energetic today, entertaining.
Oh,
Uh,
you are. I'm sorry.
okay. So listen, guys. The second thing is, I need you guys to help make the people that want to be wells, that want to buy. I need them to hear it from your voices right now. Let's just take a few minutes. I'll turn my camera off, and I need you guys to bring some comfort to those people that want to buy, but they're kind of waiting on the good feeling about, is this the right time to, because they really don't want to buy if it's not going to be supported, right? They're kind of wanting to time it. This is what I'm hearing, guys. They want to time it where, if they buy, then they're going to move the price up, and they like to see the price kind of hang out there for a bit, not just like, right? And so we're getting the word out real good now to all the sellers that, hey, you know, we're gonna get to know you. If you're selling, there's so few of you that are selling, it's gonna be easy for us to get a hold of you. And anybody that I can't get a hold of, I'm just gonna assume it's a fake account, and we'll just have to delete that account out of our system, right? But that might create a gap somewhere, and if it does, we're gonna have a situation where we'll fill the gap with instead of the thing going to the guarantee, it'll go to the next active sponsor up. That's what we're working on right now. So just realize everything's in play, going in the right direction so that we can deal with the few that are the problem here. It's not the many, it's not the majority, it's not even close to, it's like 99% of all of you are being very responsible, and I love you for it. Okay? It's that percentage of 1%. Okay? It's a percentage of 1% of you that are being careless here. And it's kind of like sometimes when I talk to my wife about $3,000 a month, and she's like, you give $3,000 to a month in to certain people, it's like giving a chimpanzee a loaded gun. You know what I'm saying? It's like, well, I hope that's not true. The good news is here, no one's going to die. So that's the difference between a chimpanzee with a loaded gun and giving somebody that may not really recognize what the responsibility attached to that. What that means. But from her perspective, I'm just kind of sharing her perspective. I have a hard time seeing it. Okay. I don't value money like normal people. I've been a millionaire too long. So, and we're in a different country over here, the Philippines. I still haven't adjusted a lot of things. But look, we just got to get this really clear to everyone that if you're not being responsible, we'll root you out and get rid of you, and you won't be a problem anymore, and we'll know who you are, right? You ain't gonna come back, okay? And then if uh, let's see, the other part of it is I need you guys to bring some comfort to those that want to buy, and they'll say, yeah, we're going to support that. Everybody can do a little bit. Everybody can go in there and do $1 once in a while, right? Anybody here object to the idea of going in and buying $1 of one of our coins once in a while? Anybody going to object to that? Anybody objecting to that? Nope, no objection. Okay, silence is consent. So let's go ahead and encourage the people that want to step it up, become wells, and step it up and help us get over the benchmark. We need them to be comfortable with all of us, not just with Ace Fletcher. Okay, they got to be comfortable with the people that are showing up. They need to know that you got their back as well as we're in this together. So I'm going to turn my camera off and let you guys talk about it for a minute or two. Let's see how it goes. You guys are gonna be more buyers than sellers. You're gonna be cheerleading that on, right? In any kind of sport that we play. So I'm gonna give you guys a chance to talk. Let Hunter kind of guide you there.
Actually, Randy was the first hand up, but I'll start anyway because I want to share my screen in a sec. Sorry, Randy, we'll get to you in a sec. Now, what I would want to say about that is essentially something that boils down to 2 points, one of which I keep saying over and over again. Point number one being all the tokens are on sale right now. Now is an excellent time to buy. It's always an excellent time to buy as long as the tokens are on sale. And that's really all there is to it. I remember talking about this a couple calls ago that you wouldn't worry about it if your favorite meal at your favorite restaurant was on sale, would you? And the other point that I want this to boil down to is your buy may in fact raise the price itself a little. And I even have video evidence of that. Let me go ahead and share my screen and show you what I'm talking about. I'm not going to be able to show you all the actual videos, but back before the launch of PFG, I actually did a sort of pancake swap hands-on training, and we actually bought quite a bit of PFI at that point between these two videos, and we ended up pumping up the price quite a bit. And we did the same thing on the first official rally for the pool funding tokens a couple of weeks ago. So you can also go back and check that out if you want video evidence of that as well. I recall doing a bit of a play-by-play there as the token values went up. So again, don't worry about it. The coins are going to go up. We have video evidence of them going up, and your buy is going to help with that. All right, you can go ahead now, Randy. Sorry.
Oh, no problem at all. Thanks, Hunter. Just real quick, I have a brief moment here. I thought Kane, when Ace was chatting about people selling and calling them out. A quick little story. In a small town that I was living in Pennsylvania, there was a convenience store. It was people were writing bad checks, meaning they were writing checks, but they didn't have the money in the bank, and so the stores had to eat those funds. And it got so bad that they started putting those checks up on a wall of shame. And within a month or even less, they almost had nobody ever writing bad checks again because they were all neighbors of us. They were all the community members that were doing this, and they were humiliated and embarrassed. My point being, would it make sense or even a thought that you put that check mark back on the homepage every day and you let them know by agreeing to not sell, you understand that we will be putting you on our wall of shame or whatever you want to call it, and then just post their names. These people sold today.
Yeah, I don't think I need to take it that far, you know.
Okay.
I think
Okay, it was just a thought. It was just a
yeah,
thought.
what I'm looking for, what I like to hear is that, yeah, I'm going to be supporting the rallies. I'm going to show up to rallies, at least to be there as a cheerleader. I'll buy $1 here and $1 there for sure. That's what I'm asking you guys to do right now.
Yeah,
I'm not looking for more suggestions on how to punish people because trust me,
Okay.
guys, I built large teams before, many large teams before, and I know there's a delicate balance there you guys are not aware of. I'm more aware of the delicate balance of punishment than probably most of you would even, you know, I have experience there. Let's put it that
Okay.
way. All right.
I apologize. I just had a thought. It just
But what do you think? Are you willing to put $1 here and $1 there once in a while? You willing to cheerlead on the people that want to be well? I think you're already well,
yeah.
aren't you? Aren't you a well, Randy?
I'm on the front page of the PFG, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It feels good to be a well, don't it?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. You know, as we had a conversation the other day, I'm gonna do everything I can to maintain that spot.
Yeah. You know, we'll look back. I'll be there at your funeral, and we'll look back. You know, at some point, both of us will be in the spirit world together. We'll look
Yes,
back
sir.
and we'll sum up exactly what it was to be a well and what the dollar value is for you being a pool funding well. I promise you, man, it's gonna be like $100 million.
Damn.
You're gonna think you got in cheap on that deal. The value of being a well, and I'm not talking symbolically, I'm talking about in real financial dollars and cents. When you add up
Okay.
all the perks, benefits, and rewards of being a well and pool funding, it's going to be to the well, each of them, $100 million. Okay.
And these wells are recognized at when we get our price targets. That's when it starts being
No,
noticed
no,
that
no.
you're a well,
You are a well right now, period.
right,
Someone could bump you out. So your job is to become a well and stay a well.
right.
It's gonna be a little bit competitive. But like I think you and I were sat down and looked at, I saw where you were, and you said, what if you moved up 10 spots? What would it cost? And we figured out the difference would only cost you $40 out of your pocket to move up
That's right.
10 spots, right?
That's right. $38. That's right.
Yeah, 38 bucks. That's what it was. 38 bucks to move yourself ahead and give yourself a 10 spot cushion from where you're already sitting. You know, to me, that's a bargain. You know,
Well,
$38
thank you
gets you,
for
yeah.
thank you for letting people know how easy it is to knock me off now.
Well, there's a valid point there. The point is, if you don't value $100 million, okay, I'm telling you, it's going to pull the creativity out of the people who truly deserve to be there.
Yep.
That's the only real question, right?
Yes, sir.
So that's what it really takes is people are going to have to be able, they're going to have to get creative and say, you know, damn it, I'm going to be a well, I'm going to stay a well, nothing's going to, you know, no one's going to take it away. They're going to do whatever it takes. You know, I'm not suggesting that people go into debt. You know, if you get creative, you never go into debt. Okay? When I use the word creative, I'm not suggesting debt. I'm suggesting something better than debt. You know, because debt you got to pay back. When you're creative, you don't pay it back. Okay. So what you have to do is you have to unlock your superpowers. All of you have it, whether you realize you got it or not. All of you got superpowers. About time you unlock them and use them, become a well, stay a well, because you're going to be the main thrust that moves us from one price target to the next. It's going to be mostly the effort of those understanding the value of $100 million. Okay. The private jets, 5-star hotels, I just make a list. Okay. The business opportunities that will only be available to the wells in the first place. You know, the wells are going to be the ones in front of the line when it comes to basically lending their PF coins in the future to those people that will give them paper dollar, paper peso, or whatever country you're in, okay, in order to do massive multi-billion-dollar projects, okay?
Yeah.
Multi-billion-dollar projects. You know, here's the thing, you know, you don't have to be a smart guy if you're rich, because rich guys can hire all the smart people they need. You get it? The point is just get rich. So trust me, guys, we need to move. I want to get to these price targets. I'm surprised we're not already at our price targets, but I hear the grumblings. I hear where the hesitation is. And the hesitation is that they're looking at just, damn it, you know, 1 to 2 dozen people are getting in the way of someone, you know, claiming their $100 million. Okay. That's what's, you know, how retarded is that? It's just funny. It takes that few to stop a person from getting what they deserve. Either you in your heart think you deserve $100 million or you don't. I'm in the category, I think much bigger than 100 million, by the way. I'm much more deserving. You got to get to the point where you recognize that you're ready to receive. You know, you got to step up who you are. You got to remember what you are. And when you do, all limitations are self-imposed. Why are you so busy limiting yourself when you can have it all? Right? So this is where it's at. So and we need our cheerleaders. Okay, we need plenty of cheerleaders. And Do we have them here? Are the cheerleaders showing up to my meetings? You know, are they here? That's what I want to hear from today. Do we have some cheerleaders?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
On Saturday, we're going to have our next rally, rally number 2. Okay. So be sure to show up, prove it, be there, and pitch in $1 or $2, even if it doesn't get you a spot on the well sheet yet. Sometimes the universe has a way of testing you. You know, if you're willing to put that widow's mite out there, suddenly a landfall falls your way and like money you didn't know you had coming, and then you can become a well. Sometimes you just got to say, universe, I'm ready to receive. And lo and behold, it will happen. You know, I can't tell you how many miracles I've experienced. There's been so many, I've lost count. How many of you can say the same thing? Right? I count miracles like some people count blessings, but I've seen it. Things that you can't explain, things that don't add up on paper, and it happens somehow, some way. It's like, wow. I expect miracles. That's where I live. All right. Let's see here. I'll let you guys continue. Let Hunter continue. You guys don't have to be so courteous. You don't have to raise your hand. You should be talking over each other at this point.
Okay, so I didn't really have much of anything else I can think of that I would want to say other than what I've already said. Would anyone else like to pitch in on this, or should I just go back to my points?
Well, I said points on the chat. If I'm sorry because I'm not too fluent in English, or I think people cannot understand me if I say something.
Yeah, you can. I don't think the folks watching this on YouTube could see into the chat, but I could probably dictate it for you if you want. Yeah, you talk just fine. I can understand you just fine, though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
your
you-
English is fine.
Yeah, go ahead. You've got the floor.
Yeah, absolutely. You have the floor.
Well, I said my thoughts on the chat, so maybe you can read them, Hunter.
Alrighty. Let me
Thank you.
scroll back up here through this. All right, so one of the things that Chris said, one of the points that he made is we all need to build pool funding to what Ace is saying so that we can all enjoy abundance. And I will absolutely second that. Absolutely. Now, here's a question for each of every one of you. What does abundance look like to you? And I know we're going a bit off the rails here, but I mean, think about what abundance looks like to you. Can it be contained? That's the question you need to ask yourself. All right, would anyone else like to chime in?
Hey, Hunter, did you mean to leave the recording on?
Well, I'm not the one who started the recording, but
All right,
anyway.
I'm recording, and yeah, I want to keep it going. Anyway, guys, so listen, let me just kind of take it from here. We'll wrap up today's meeting. So today, guys, is an invitation for you guys to step it up in your soul. Okay, this is a chance for you to see yourself in a bigger light. You know, don't let your light be so dim. Allow yourself to shine. And so just a little shout out to all of you. I believe in you. Probably believe in you maybe more than some of you believe in yourselves at this point, but I'm telling you, it's just because of my sight, the way I see. Some of you are like looking at Polaroid pictures, right? And you look at pool funding. Here's today. Oh, here's yesterday. Oh, here's tomorrow, right? Like Polaroid picture, little snapshots. Each one's got a feeling with it. I don't see pool funding like that, guys. To me, it's like remembering a movie I watched. I've seen the beginning of the movie, I've seen the middle of the movie, and I've seen the ending of the movie. And see, that's how I look at pool funding. See, I'm already way out there. Okay. I've already seen pool funding 100 years from now. It's a movie to me I've watched multiple times. Right. I mean, I'm actually, I remember the parts. So I see it all. So it's a whole movie. It's an exciting movie. Pool funding is a super, super exciting movie. Wonderful movie. And it's a feel-good movie. It's one of those, it's up there with like the rag to riches stories. You know, everybody loves those, right? Rags to rich stories, right? Because there's a lot of examples here of people that will literally be going from rags to riches. There's a whole bunch of like socioeconomic, geopolitical drama that we're going to be all tangled up with, and we're going to actually, come out shining on the other side, and it's going to be amazing because the truth is the truth. We got that working for us.